Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for January 22, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, President Trump has been pursuing the acquisition of Greenland, a move that's been met with fierce opposition from European allies, including Denmark and Greenland itself. However, in a dramatic reversal, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte successfully navigated a sensitive situation with President Trump, resulting in a change of heart on the issue. Secondly, we've seen President Trump reiterate his interest in acquiring Greenland at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, despite warnings from Denmark and other European allies that any attempt to acquire the island nation would be a serious violation of international law. Lastly, Secretary General Rutte's diplomatic efforts have been praised by European leaders and diplomats, with many attributing his success to his unique approach to diplomacy, which emphasizes building personal relationships and using flattery to achieve desired outcomes. Finnish President Alexander Stubb has also been credited with having a positive relationship with President Trump, and his comments on the situation have been seen as an endorsement of Rutte's diplomatic efforts. These stories highlight the complexities and challenges of international diplomacy in today's rapidly changing world. As we move forward, it's clear that leaders like Secretary General Rutte and President Stubb will play a crucial role in building bridges and finding common ground between nations. We'll continue to monitor these developments and bring you updates as more information becomes available. And as always, we invite our listeners to share their thoughts and opinions on these stories. How can leaders build bridges and find common ground in a rapidly changing world? Let us know in the comments. Good night and goodbye. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then she'll know it's right now. Firstly, we've been following the developments in the UK, where Prime Minister Starmer has navigated a complex situation involving the Chagos Islands deal and pressure from President Trump over Greenland. The deal, which returns sovereignty of the islands to Mauritius while leasing back a key UK-US military base, has sparked debate and controversy. Secondly, we've been monitoring the trial underway in Hong Kong, where 3 government-vetted judges are presiding over the case of former leaders of the Hong Kong Alliance. The prosecution argues that the alliance's call to end one-party rule in China constitutes subversion, while human rights groups see the trial as an attempt to rewrite history and punish those who refuse to forget the victims of the Tiananmen crackdown. Lastly, we've been exploring the role of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, in our communities, following a fatal shooting incident in Minneapolis. Our report highlighted the mixed opinions among voters in Pennsylvania, with some feeling that ICE is necessary for national security, while others see it as a symbol of fear and mistrust. The debate surrounding ICE's role is complex and multifaceted, and we'll continue to provide updates and insights as more information becomes available. These stories represent significant moments in global politics and social justice, and we'll be keeping a close eye on their developments. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. As we navigate the ever-changing landscape of finance, it's essential to stay informed and level-headed. We've been following the story of Applied Digital and Galaxy Digital, where Jim Cramer has cautioned against taking profits from certain stocks that have seen significant surges in value. He advises investors to be prepared for potential corrections and remains bearish toward some crypto-related names. We believe that certain AI stocks offer greater upside potential and carry less downside risk compared to these crypto-related names. In other news, Pan American Silver has had its price target lowered by Jefferies due to mixed Q4 production results and higher costs. However, Jim Cramer still considers it the best silver mining company, albeit with a warning that starting a position now may not yield the most favorable price. We emphasize the importance of patience, fundamental analysis, and diversification, especially in the volatile world of mining stocks. As we always say, don't panic. It's crucial to stay vigilant, adapt to changing market conditions, and make informed decisions based on thorough analysis rather than market hysteria. Remember, it's not just about making money, it's about preserving your capital and growing your wealth over time. So, take a deep breath, stay level-headed, and keep your eyes on the horizon. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we've been following the developments of the Artemis II mission, which aims to return humans to the lunar surface by 2024. The mission has successfully completed its uncrewed test flight, paving the way for future manned missions to the moon and beyond. Secondly, researchers at the University of Rochester have made a groundbreaking discovery about super-Earths, finding that these rocky worlds larger than our own planet could generate powerful magnetic fields, making them more conducive to supporting life. This breakthrough has significant implications for the search for life beyond our solar system. Lastly, the James Webb Space Telescope has uncovered the process by which crystalline silicates are created and distributed throughout a young star system, providing insights into the potential building blocks of planetary systems. The study of protostars like EC53 brings us closer to understanding the origins of our own solar system and the potential for life beyond Earth. These discoveries remind us of the awe-inspiring complexity and beauty of celestial mechanics and the vast possibilities that exist beyond our planet. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the universe, we'll be keeping a close eye on further developments in these areas, bringing you updates and insights as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. This evening, we're going to delve into a trio of captivating stories that have been making waves in the NFL playoffs. Firstly, our attention turns to the highly anticipated matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. The Seahawks, bolstered by their formidable defense, are looking to leverage their home field advantage to secure a spot in Super Bowl LX. However, they will be without the services of running back Zach Charbonnet due to an injury, which is expected to impact their offensive strategy. On the other hand, the Rams are exuding confidence, thanks in large part to the exceptional performance of quarterback Matthew Stafford. His ability to lead his team to victory, even in the face of adversity, has been consistently demonstrated throughout the season. In another development, we examine the strong bonds within the Denver Broncos team, particularly between quarterbacks Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix. Following Bo Nix's injury, Jarrett Stidham is now slated to start for the Broncos in the AFC Championship game against the New England Patriots. This significant matchup will determine which team advances to the Super Bowl. The context of this story underscores the nuances of team dynamics and the psychological impact of injuries on players and their teammates. Lastly, we shift our focus to the upcoming showdown between the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game. The Patriots, with their high-powered offense, are looking to capitalize on the Broncos' recent injury woes. Meanwhile, the Broncos are relying on Jarrett Stidham's leadership and the team's collective resolve to overcome the odds. As we look forward to these high-stakes matchups, one question remains on everyone's mind. Will the Seahawks' stingy defense be enough to contain the Rams' potent offense, or will Matthew Stafford lead his team to a triumphant win? Similarly, can the Broncos overcome their injury woes and secure a spot in the Super Bowl, or will the Patriots' high-powered offense prove too much to handle? Tune in tomorrow for our post-game analysis, where we will break down the key plays and strategies that decided the outcome of these highly anticipated matchups. For now, it's a waiting game as football fans everywhere eagerly await the kickoff of what promises to be an unforgettable series of games. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. We began with a journey to the Hermitage of St. Sava in Ovar Kablar Gorge, Serbia, where we explored the timeless beauty of this sacred site and the importance of slowing down to reconnect with nature and ourselves. Next, we delved into a groundbreaking discovery about the deep waters of the North Atlantic during the last glacial maximum, which challenges previous assumptions about the Earth's climate system. This research has significant implications for our understanding of the planet's climate history and its response to global temperature changes. Finally, we reported on the Terra Madre Asia-Pacific Festival in Bacolod, Philippines, where food communities from across the region came together to promote sustainable agriculture, biodiversity, and environmentally friendly farming practices. The event sparked a vital conversation about the future of agriculture in the region and the importance of preserving traditional crops and protecting local ecosystems. These stories remind us of the beauty, complexity, and interconnectedness of our world. From the natural wonders of Serbia to the climate history of the North Atlantic and the sustainable food systems of Asia-Pacific, we're constantly discovering new insights that inspire us to appreciate and protect our planet. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. Let's get into the highlights from our latest articles. First up, we've got some big news in the fashion world. The iconic nightlife entrepreneur Rutte Akiva has been arrested in connection with a violent altercation. We're still waiting for all the details to come out, but it looks like Akiva's got some splaining to do. Next, we're talking about the Sundance Film Festival, which is wrapping up its final year in Park City, Utah. The festival has been a game changer for the film industry, and this year's lineup is no exception. We've got premieres of new films starring Olivia Colman and Alexander Skarsgård, as well as documentaries about some fascinating figures. And speaking of Sundance, we're excited to hear that Ava DuVernay will be joining forces with documentary filmmaker Barbara Koppel to discuss the challenges facing the film industry. With AI and corporatization on everyone's mind, it'll be interesting to see how these two creative powerhouses think the industry should move forward. Last but not least, we've got an update on a new partnership that's shaking up the fashion world. The founder of 108K and Up and Down has joined forces with a well-known nightlife entrepreneur to expand his brand globally. We'll be keeping an eye on this development and bringing you all the latest updates. Thanks for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David at Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we've been reporting on the alarming decline of migratory birds in South Asia, where habitat destruction, pollution, and climate change are pushing these magnificent creatures to the brink of disaster. Despite some community-led conservation efforts, more needs to be done to address the scale and complexity of this issue. Secondly, a shocking revelation has highlighted the devastating consequences of nature loss on global food systems, economy, and national security. A report by the UK's Joint Intelligence Committee warns that ecosystem collapse could lead to severe food shortages, economic insecurity, and geopolitical competition for resources. Lastly, we've also been exploring the critical issue of protecting the world's ecosystems, including the Central Asian Flyway and the Amazon rainforest, which are facing unprecedented threats from human activities. The consequences of inaction will be far-reaching and devastating, while the benefits of protecting nature are numerous and well documented. These stories serve as a stark reminder of the urgent need for collective action to address the crisis facing our planet. We must work together to protect and preserve the natural world, not just for the sake of the environment, but for the very future of humanity itself. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.